Privilege, I think power, access, luxury.
A race, some good, some bad.
I think of Iggy Azalea and Miley Cyrus.
White is a way of being, doesn't always mean skin color. It's a way of thinking.
When I think about white, I think about maybe a group of people who I would love to be in harmony with, but don't always feel like they feel the same way towards me.
White, run, controlled system.
Not understanding. They don't acknowledge what has happened in the past.
When I watch videos like this, something comes to my mind, and it's kind of like a dehumanization. And I've noticed it's been like a large dehumanization of white people in these type of videos.
See the word white, what comes to mind?
How do I feel about the word white?
This is so dramatic. Hey, I'm sorry. This is so dramatic to me. When y'all see the word white, what comes to mind? Honestly, when I see the word white, what comes to mind, like the first thing that comes to mind is like Google. Because y'all know like Google has like the all white background. But if we're talking about in reference to like humans, when I see the word white, the first word that comes to mind is literally people. Nothing really comes. Response to the word white.
Privilege, I think power, access, luxury.
A race, some good, some bad. Can't be critical of all whites, but there is a strong element of racism in white Australia.
I think of Iggy Azalea and Miley Cyrus.
White is a way of being, doesn't always mean skin color. It's a way of thinking.
When I think about white, I think about maybe a group of people who I would love to be in harmony with, but don't always feel like they feel the same way towards me.
White, run, controlled system.
Not understanding. They don't acknowledge what has happened in the past.
Is this a serious video? Like, I feel like there's a lot of virtue signaling going on because here you have a young child. Well, let me not speak too soon. I don't know what this child has been through, but what he's saying is that they don't really know what's happened in the past, and that could be his opinion, but for you to be a young kid and that's the first thing you think of when you hear the word white, that is interesting to say the least. That is interesting. I really don't know what to say. That is crazy to me. Hey y'all, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe.
They try to understand as well. They just push it off and say that it's in the past.
What I think when I see the word white, first word that comes to mind would be privilege, arrogance, naive.
There's just several things throughout the course of history that white people have taken advantage of.
Not all of them are like wallowing freely and shamelessly in their privilege, but it seems like the ones that are typically male.
The further away you get from white, the harder life can be sometimes.
Controlling figures in my lifetime, in my mother's lifetime, as far back as I can think of, actually.
There are things that I have to think about that they never think about, that it just doesn't even cross their mind.
When I'm called white, it feels like it's dismissing another huge part of who I am, which is that I am in fact a person of color.
Huh? What? Okay, this is getting a little out of control. So this man called himself a person of color. At this point, I don't even know what person of color means. Like, I guess we're all technically people of color, but anyways, the reason I pause it is because when I watch videos like this, something comes to my mind, and it's kind of like a dehumanization. And I've noticed it's been like a large dehumanization of white people in these type of videos. And you're probably like, what do I mean by that? The question was, what do you think of when you hear the word white? And a lot of the African Americans in this video said privilege, power, naivety, arrogance, because they're alluding to a white supremacy within America, which I think America is a great country, but they're kind of ignoring the fact that majority of white people in our country are literally normal. And the reason that that's such a big thing, like I'm talking about 99%, the majority, well not 99%, but y'all get what I'm saying. The majority of people are normal or even below them in terms of socioeconomic standing. And the reason that that's such a big thing is because when you allude to an entire race being privileged, an entire race being naive, an entire race being superior, when in fact the average person of that race, the majority of that race, is quite literally a normal human, you're kind of dehumanizing them as a whole. Because you may feel like you're attacking like the people who are super high up, but what you're really doing is you're attacking the average Joe. You're attacking the little kids whose family are middle class, or who can't afford to give them school lunch, or who can't afford to do this and that. You're really attacking them, because when it comes to these videos, or when they hear these things, this is what they're hearing. And people trying to ignore the fact that a lot of white people are, normal, like they literally live normal lives, and they only look at the upper echelon of white people, and they only look at them, and they try to put their messages for them. But what you're really doing is putting your messages for the normal people who live very similar lives to you. So it's like you're doing more dividing than anything, because they're the ones watching this. They're the ones building grudges against you, and they're the ones who do not deserve you talking to them like that. But that's kind of what I get from this. It's kind of a dramatic thing, but let's continue.
I am in fact a person of color.
They are the average person. They are just people in general.
I want to say helpful, but only helpful so long as it benefits them.
A set of values.
Wanting equality without giving up any of the power.
I think privilege is really all of it, just the ability to be seen as a person.
Whiteness is a construct.
It's in the best interest of the status quo for people like me to identify as white and sort of let my Native American identity fall to the wayside. I'm still a Native American who's walking around on the earth. I might as well not be if I'm not going to own it.
I believe if you're white or black, pink, yellow, red, purple.
Yeah, so I do like that one thing she said, whiteness is a construct, because as the world progresses, especially within the United States or Western civilizations, I guess mixed race is becoming more a thing. So it's a construct. It's becoming more and more of a construct. And whiteness or blackness is literally just how much melanin you have in your skin. But these type of discussions, I enjoy the fact that everyone was, open enough to present their ideals in a, semi-respectful way, and I respect them for it. But it's just kind of disheartening to hear. It's kind of disheartening because you're like, on one hand, you are entitled to your own feelings, but on another hand, you're talking about an entire set of people who literally live normal lives. And if you look at it from that perspective, you'll kind of see where I'm coming from. I'm not going to sit here and act like, those people deep down don't have a reason for what they're saying. But my thing is, the average white person or average person is just trying to live out their day to day. They're trying to get through their day. They're trying to build a life for them and their family. So I look at them as kind of equals. When I hear the word white, I'm here human, equal, person. I don't know. I don't really think of anything. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just think of, okay, human. But yeah, if you have any more suggestions for me, comment down below. That's our judgment. I'll see you next time.